It is about 9:30 in the morning, West Coast time on Friday, November 7th. Yesterday, Thursday, U.S. District Judge John McConnell ordered the Trump administration to pay full SNAP benefits by today, by the end of today. So this morning, the Trump administration is seeking an emergency stay of that judge's order from yesterday so that they don't have to feed poor people. Feeding poor people to the Trump administration is an emergency. It's an emergency that they want to not feed poor people in this country. I'm reading from Politico. The Trump administration raced to an appellate court this morning to block a federal judge's order from yesterday directing the Agriculture Department to use emergency funding to pay full food stamp benefits by November. The Agriculture Department has the money. They have the money, and even though the government is shut down, the Agriculture Department can access that money because that money sits in a fund that was set up after the last government shutdown during Trump's first term. This emergency fund was set up specifically to avoid any lapse in SNAP benefits to the poorest Americans, including 14 million children, 41 million people total, so that if the government shuts down, those people can still have food to eat. Donald Trump has now said it is an emergency. Stopping payment of SNAP benefits to 41 million Americans, including 14 million children, is an emergency. It's an emergency to the Trump administration. It's an emergency that they should be able to not fund SNAP benefits in accordance with yesterday's court order. That's how desperately they are trying to avoid feeding poor people. Never mind the fact that 80% of SNAP benefits recipients live in counties that Donald Trump won in the 2024 election. It's an emergency. You have to let us not feed poor people. It's an emergency. I barely have words. I barely have words. It is an emergency that you should let us avoid feeding 42 million poor Americans who have no other source of food, as we saw from the woman who's been calling churches on this app. It's an emergency that you should let us not fund SNAP and let 42 million Americans, including 14 million children, be cut off from food in the wealthiest country on the planet. Everything that's going on right now is because Republicans are trying to take healthcare away from 20 million Americans, and they're trying to take food away from 42 million Americans, including 14 million children in the wealthiest nation on the planet. And yesterday, Elon Musk got a $1 trillion pay package from Tesla. But we're going to take healthcare away from 20 million Americans, and it's an emergency that the Trump administration should be allowed to take food away from 42 million Americans 3 weeks before Thanksgiving. It's an emergency. Fuck Donald Trump and fuck you for voting for him. Have a great Friday. Every single Trump voter in this country can get fucked by a cactus.